Wait, let's start with Chris Cormier, alphabetical order. It'll be easier for me to remember. Go ahead, Chris.
Thank you. The state budget has increased $10 billion since 2006, and yet the total amount of state and local aid to cities and towns remains $400 million less than pre-recession levels. What's happening here?
Yeah, it's a problem. It's a Democrat problem. Local aid should be increased. And I think the problem here stems from illegal immigration. We have plenty of funds to go to illegal immigrants, tons of funds. It's $2 billion a year. We have a current sitting attorney general who says it's not illegal to be illegal in Massachusetts. Under a Fisher administration, it will be. And what does that do? It frees up $2 billion a year. Divide that number by the number of cities and towns in the state of Massachusetts. That's $5 million in local aid. $5 million. Police, firefighters, teachers, however they want to be used. Here's the solution to the problem right there.
Mr. Baker?
Excuse me. First of all, thank you very much for having us all here today. Appreciate this opportunity to be in Lowell again. One of the things I've pledged during the course of this campaign, which none of the Democrats have pledged, is that I will increase local aid at the same rate that state tax revenue grows. Because over the course, as you pointed out, Chris, over the course of the past 10 years, state spending has gone up dramatically and local aid has gone down. The other thing I pledged, and remember, Karen Polito and I are both former members of our Board of Selectmen, me and Swampscott and her and Shrewsbury. We get the drill when it comes to the relationship between state government and local government. The other thing we've committed is no more unfunded mandates. I mean, in addition to the fact that cities and towns are down $500 million in local aid, every year the Commonwealth of Mass comes up with something they think is a good idea, and they basically just drop it on the cities and towns and say, here, you figure it out, but they don't actually put forth the money to help them pay for it. In our administration and as governor, there will be no unfunded mandates on cities and towns. And as I said before, state tax revenue goes up, local aid is going to go up right along with it. My final comment on this one is I do believe this is part of one-party government. You only have one team on the field. If it's all Democrats, one of the things that happens is you don't have the kind of accountability and fiscal discipline in the governor's office that's required to make sure that we don't forget that there's a big part of government that really matters to people, and it's called local government. And it should be a partner of the Commonwealth of Mass. We can't have a great state if we starve our cities and towns.
Mr. Fisher, would you like to add anything to that?
So under Charlie's scenario, if tax revenues grow, local aid will go up. It'll go up by a certain amount. I'm talking about $5 million each and every year by solving the problem of illegal immigration. He mentioned his status as a selectman. When he was selectman, he chose to raise taxes. Raise taxes. That's how he chooses to raise revenues. We live in a state where President Kennedy told us, if you want to raise revenues, what do? You cut taxes. That's the way to raise revenues.
Mr. Baker, 30 seconds.
You know, the great thing about being a local official, and the great thing about having been in the public game for a while, I was part of the gang that held on to and delivered Prop 2.5, which has been, I think, one of the most successful laws that's ever been passed here in Massachusetts, which limits the growth in property taxes. And if any community in Massachusetts wants to raise taxes for any purpose at all, they have to go to the voters in their community and get a vote to make it happen. And there's never been, in my opinion, anything more successful at creating what I would describe as sort of credibility and honesty and transparency and accountability as Prop 2.5.
could park here for the debate?
Sure. I assume the press?
Yes, CR News. I'm a shoestring operation. But no, I won't CR News.
Okay. I think we're all filled up in here.
There was a spot over there. Look
Yeah,
like.
but obviously the cones are there. They're reserved.
What
We
about
don't
that
have any
spot on
open
the
ones.
end there?
That would be the president's spot, so that one's always coned off.
Isn't he in Martha's Vineyard? Oh, the other president, the college
President,
yeah. I'm joking. All right, so what do I do?
That's a good question. Hang on, let me grab.
I got
hang on one
20
sec.
minutes. I'll hang.
Just follow her.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.